I am Arif Nasser. I am a broker with Royal LePage Signature. In terms of how many listings Royal LePage Signature does a year, I'd say we're roughly at around just under 5,000 listings. We have around 1,500 agents here. The support systems and everything that we get from the brokerage are second to none. So with all those kind of tools that they're giving us at our disposal, it allows us to generate as much business as we do. SnapHouss was just starting as a company, and Chris King, the owner, actually came into our brokerage to give us a presentation about SnapHouss. So that's how I first heard about it. I took a shot with them, and I've never looked back. I haven't used another photography company because you guys are trustworthy, you guys are reliant, because you have so many photographers now that cover different regions. So you have that ability to create that relationship. And once that photographer gets to know who you are, how you like your photos, they kind of adapt it in the field to make sure that you're going to be happy with it. So my first experience with SnapHouss, it was a lease that I had. And my managing partner at the time told me, you know what, professional photos, regardless if it's a lease or a sale, you should get them done because they present the property in the best light. So because of a new agent, cost saving kind of things, I went with the cheapest package. But again, you still got photos and everything like that. And they came out great. I leased the property, I think it was in around less than 2 weeks. So you can't emphasize enough the importance of professional photography. And from that first appointment that I booked with Chris, I have never looked anywhere else. The quality of the photos and videos of SnapHouss, it's great. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't be here in 2023 using the same company that I used in 2018 when they first started, right? So that should tell you something. Through that time as well, you guys have innovated your product line. I was one of the first agents to use your realtor videos when you first introduced it to the market. So you could do an intro video and then not have the ability to speak about the ins and outs of the actual property, the fine details that might be overlooked by a potential buyer, which are so critical to advertise in order to making sure that you get the top dollar for your client. So having that ability to do a video of the entire house definitely did lead to a bunch of interest in the property, and at the end led to the sale of it as well. I had calls within 20 minutes. There's a certain level that should just be maintained, especially in the real estate industry. But in terms of the style, just the work ethic, the integration between the back office, the photographer, their communication with the agent, that all plays a critical role as well. You can be great at something, but if you don't have the communication skills, if you don't have that follow-up, if you don't care about your client, is it really worth working with that person, right? So that also goes a long way. And that's what you could say kind of exceeded my expectations, is all the background stuff that you really don't see per se, that goes on to make sure that your experience is beneficial and your ideas come to fruition. Again, I love the fact that when I do get the photos back within that 24-hour time frame, which I must say is fantastic. I love the speed of delivery, but it's those little alterations adds to that pizzazz of that photo. A listing that I have at 70 Temperance Street, unit 1017, photos turned out really, really well. And I sent them to my client because he had said, oh, I have photos already. It was a vacant unit at the time. He took them with his phone. I was like, you know what, let me just get professional photos done. So when I actually did send him the photos that were taken, he's like, these are fantastic. I can't believe I didn't use a photography company before. And it's already exceeded my expectations because I constantly use you guys. But just that response from a client of mine, even in a unit that was tenanted, speaks volume to the work and showcasing and highlighting the importance of clients' units. The other thing is, in terms of when you book your appointment, you get that text message reminder saying, don't forget about this. And I think Maria is my contact. She always contacts me, I think a couple of days before the appointment. She's like, Arif, is there anything that you need to add it on? Is there anything you want to remove? It just gives you that satisfaction and that ease knowing that, you know what, if I miss something, I know I'll get that follow-up where I can include it. I can ask questions during that time as well. So that process just makes everything very at ease and relaxed, which I love. If there's any issues, for example, they're very responsive. And that's what you look for in a photography company, because at the end of the day, the photos are the last step in order to put a listing onto the market. So SnapHouss understands the urgency of getting material to their agents in order to be able to list it on time to the satisfaction of their clients. So that is a very, very big yes for me, and which is why I continue to use SnapHouss to this day.